have what it takes to outwit the enemy in R.U.S.E? This is it, our 7th and final episode from E3 2009. I'm Kimi Matsuzaki, here at E3 to bring you Ubisoft's E3 lineup direct from the source. In R.U.S.E, our new RTS, you'll find that a good general and a good poker player actually have a lot in common. Let's take a look at this trailer. Talk about R.U.S.E is senior producer Matthew Girard. So Matthew, this is a brand new game. Can you tell us what R.U.S.Es are available and how it works in terms of gameplay?
Yes, so the R.U.S.E is a brand new innovative gameplay you can find in the game. So it's what we call deception skills. It's actually a brand new gameplay layer, and for the first time you're able to visualize the battle plan and develop cunning strategy to bluff and fool your opponents. So we have about 10 R.U.S.Es available in the game, and they are divided into 3 subcategories. The first one is R.U.S.Es which allow you to hide information, so you can make units invisible, disguise your base, so you can really disappear from the battlefield. And then you have the R.U.S.E which create false information. For instance, you can create decoy units, a phantom base, and then the enemy will attack pointless units. He will divert his forces pointlessly. And then finally, you have R.U.S.Es which steal information from the enemy. So for instance, you can crack his code, visually see the order he's giving to his units, so you know where to ambush him, you know where to attack him to your best advantage. So it's really a good combination of possibilities, and the thing is, you can have 2 R.U.S.Es activated at the same time on the same sector. You can really create a huge combination in the game.
Okay, well cool. It seems like the sneaky deception is where it's at. Now let's talk about the single-player campaign. Are we going to see World War II in it?
Yes, in the single-player campaign, the experience we want to give to the player is being a general, a strategist. So you're going to play a general from the Allied forces, facing other generals, either enemies or allies. There's a spy involved. All of them also use deception skills, so they're going to teach him in the art of war. It's like Sun Tzu. So you're going to face major battles of World War II, Normandy, Italy, Battle of the Bulge, with huge armies to control. So it's we tell a story inside history, so it's historically accurate battle, but then you make up your own history, you lead the armies to victory.
Now, just when we thought that World War II was done to death in games, the R.U.S.E team promises to breathe new life into it. Now with ComDev, we're all about the community, and we took some questions from the community that Mathieu will answer for us now. First is Noah G19. He would like to know how many R.U.S.Es are available.
So you have 10 R.U.S.Es available, divided in the 3 categories, and the thing is, you can create so many combinations that maybe you could say that you have 60, 80, 100 different strategies with that.
Okay, cool. And now Kazar would like to know what the factions are.
So you have in the game you have 6 playable factions, and in the campaign you're going to play with or aligned with factions or face other factions, meaning that you're going to meet all the factions of the game, so that when you start multiplayer, you're ready to know what all the units are good for, how to use them to your best advantage.
So many choices, where to start? Now Nevio would like to know, are the units created on the map, for example like a tank in the factory, or are they just brought in as reinforcements?
Well, in R.U.S.E we have very innovative gameplays, but you have also everything an RTS fan should expect from this kind of game. So you have an economy system, you have base building, you build lots of factories, you have lots of freedom in which order you want to build things, and then you produce units with the economy you've earned. So it's you have everything you should expect from this kind of games.
Oh, here's a couple names we're familiar with. Raw Kryptonite and Inquisitor Zeal. They'd like to know if we're going to see voice command.
So in our game, I would say that the command is more about the zoom. So it's more a touching interface than an actual voice interface. So it's more about going from high altitude to low altitude, and in that case, a pad, a mouse, or even a multi-touch device is more appropriate for our game.
We'll have so much to worry about that we'll just be able to focus on the new technology, it seems. Flaming Barbecue, he'd like to know if we're going to be able to see the campaign from all factions, or if it's going to be like Allies and Axis style.
So in the campaign, you're going to play on the Allies side, but then you meet the other factions, and there are some interesting twists in the story, meaning that at some time you will be able to control units from other factions. But I'm not going to disclose all the story right now.
Okay, yes, we'll need to wait for more. And we have time for one last question. Imperial Dane would like to know if we can head over to the R.U.S.E website to get some helpful tips or tricks on how to play.
Yes, actually on the community corner you will have lots of information about how to use the units to their best advantage, how to use the deception skill in combination, and so it's really something we encourage. We will give you information. We're waiting for your feedback also on the game.
Well, cool. Thank you, Mathieu, for joining us.
Thank you.
This was a great opportunity to get some community questions answered directly by the dev team. But you might have more, I'm sure you do. So be sure to head over to the forums and ask them there. So what is a touch table and what does it have to do with R.U.S.E? Let's head down to the booth for a demo on the touch table.
Hi everyone, this is Emric, community developer on R.U.S.E. We're here today at the R.U.S.E booth with Mathieu Girard, producer, to do a little demo of the touch table.
Hi, so first of all, it's a great opportunity to be here at E3 with all you guys. So we're watching a brand new demo of the game. It's taking place in Tunisia. So it's a demo which is showing much more details about the gameplay, how it works, the game mechanics. It's also a brand new map which is even bigger than everything you've seen before. So even more possibilities for taking advantage of the environment, developing huge armies, and also, of course, taking advantage of the enemy, manipulating him, manipulating the information.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about the touch table and what does that bring to the gameplay?
So I think what the touch table brings first is that it shows that R.U.S.E can be played on any type of interface, on a mouse, keyboard, pad, and on this baby. So what is really natural about this is that it really feels like an iPhone, but way bigger, way bigger. So it's very easy to zoom in, to zoom out in a few gestures. and you really feel for the first time like you have, well, in the game we have this table in your war room, looks a bit like a R.U.S.E game, like a board game, and then for the first time you can actually touch on the table, so you're there, you're inside the table. So this is what it brings to the player, I guess. It's the absolute immersion in the game.
The thing we wanted to do is to prove that the way we play our strategy game is so accessible, so simple, that we will be able to put it on the most accessible device that exists actually, which is the touch table.
We saw some movies, some James Bond movies, some Spielberg movies about interactions, this kind of stuff, and I guess it's like something, it's the trend of the moment. You want to touch the screen, you want to interact with it, so we thought of that table, and then we found a way to make it real with a great company helping us, Intri Labs, and so what you could see in the trailer, which looks like science fiction, is actually existing in the game. Actually, it wasn't that hard to come up with the interfacing with that table. It was like about a week of work, I would say. So it's not really that difficult, and of course you could add more work for even deeper integration. But right now it was very easy to simulate what you can find on the PC and to repeat it on the table.
They found out, like movements that can reproduce what we were doing with the pad or with the mouse, and the result is here. I would say the game is still the same, but honestly, this table is really amazing. It's just so exciting. It's something, well, being able, to zoom in and out and getting into the, into the screen. This is really sexy, I think. So, still the game is the same, but I think everybody would love to have this kind of table at home.
And that is a wrap for this year's E3. To celebrate, I've invited a few of my friends to the set. Thank you so much for joining us at Ubisoft's inside look at this year's E3, direct from the source. This is Kimi Matsuzaki, signing off.